It is official. Universal has put some new projects in place, and we have a lot more details about what is coming to the Universal parks around the globe. Today, we have a lot of fun stuff to cover. We are almost at the new year. Also, today is my birthday, so if you guys don't mind, please give this video a thumbs up. Also, a nice birthday gift might be a fun little subscription to the channel, so if you guys haven't yet, make sure to subscribe. But yeah, a lot of fun projects to talk about here at Universal Studios as we kind of cover things that are happening with Universal destinations and experiences. Hopefully you guys have fun with me here today. We are coming to the end of the holiday season, which means we are kind of approaching that Mardi Gras time. I will remind you guys about the gift cards here in just a little bit. Also, I think it is starting to rain. Not what I want on my birthday. Not the best looking skies for sure. But again, we only have a few more weeks left of the holidays here. I heard they brought the cards back. They were sold out the last time we were here. I'm sure you guys remember that. Also, a lot of lights are on today. You can see those lights up there kind of beaming down over out in the distance. You can see out there. Lots of lights are blinding, but I'm going to see if I can pick up the card pack, see if we can get some new ones. Again, I heard they were back. I cannot confirm that or deny just yet. Also, yes, again, today is my birthday, and getting old kind of stinks. You know, I never really thought about my age after like 21, because you're like, all right, I'm 21. Now kind of everything is available in life, right? It's like you can legally drink, you know, you've got your license, you know, whatever. I think 25, insurance actually gets cheaper, I think, or whatever, but you know, you don't really pay attention to it. But as you get older, yeah, definitely, like, you start to feel it. You're like, dang, I'm getting older, and you know, another year goes by. I feel like years just fly by once you get past 21. I just feel like it's like the next thing you know, like you blink and it's like 5 years gone. You know, it's just every time you blink, another 5 years are just wiped away. But either way, let me go check out and see if we can get those cards. Well, we got our pack here, thankfully. So we have from last week, and then we can scan for today. I'll talk to you guys about that here in a second, but it looks like they even added a few more nutcrackers. It feels like every week they're adding just a few more, which I really appreciate. You know, I like to see them continuously adapting this year. The team member told me that this one is down today, unfortunately. So she said if I scan the other two, however, I will be okay. So yeah, you can see the lights are off here. I believe we are probably getting ready for the characters from Shrek to come out again. There's a little bit of a crowd forming over here. Let's come over here by the water and get these things opened. Again, I'm hoping to get that chaser. It's nice and quiet out here. The weather is great right now, by the way. Again, the skies, not exactly the skies you want to be seeing, but at least no rain for now. All right, here we go. Let's rip into this thing. Gurg the llama, ornament, which I think these two are always in every pack. Oh, we got Earl. Let's go. Okay, so now we got Earl the squirrel. I don't think this is the chaser one though. I don't think. I don't know, but at least we got Earl, so something new. Again, from what I heard, there is an Earl the squirrel one that has like a tree behind him or something. That one has trees, but I think it's specifically a Christmas tree that's like with him. Also, you can hear the music for Shrek. I guess it's kind of just like Christmas music in general. But all right, cool. I'm gonna go get the other two scanned. Let's talk a little bit about some of these permits that got filed, things that we know now. One of them being Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket. We have the official replacement, or who will be making the replacement attraction there, which kind of gives us a lot more insight to what we kind of already knew, but at least it's official now. Now, as I stated, it is starting to get busier, but we are not quite as busy as it does get here during the holiday season. Probably tomorrow and Saturday we'll see a few more people start to show up, and then into next week we'll get a lot more. But it's cool to see that we have a lot more usage here at like the benches. I feel like these are always empty. A lot of people sitting around, enjoying food, hanging out, having a good time. Like I said, over the past few weeks, I feel like these have all been empty just because, again, not too many people here, but we are starting to pick up the crowds. Alrighty, well, the tap still does not work. You still have to use the code, but these two have worked. I got this one and the other one. And just so you guys can see the wait time, just to kind of see what something might be looking like right now, you can see the Mummy is at 35 minutes. It's really not that bad. I saw Hiccups was at 45 minutes, which is actually relatively low for that attraction, especially on a Thursday. I feel like, you know, you'd expect it to be a little bit higher. I am gonna go check just quickly on Finnegan's here before we talk about one of our first permits. And I wanna see if they have any idea on the time frame for the closure next year. Alrighty, I got a lot of good details actually for you guys. I gotta get somewhere where the music isn't blasting in the background, but you guys will be happy to know more details on what is happening. However, if you guys are interested in basically visiting Finnegan's at any point next year, you might be a little upset. Let me get around the corner, then we'll talk about it. I am gonna check just briefly to see if that construction wall has any more new details added to it. I don't believe I am seeing anything new here. It looks to be pretty much all the same. I wonder how long they're gonna be running with Mr. Tape. Is he gonna be kind of sticking around for quite a while here, or are they just kind of utilizing for the next year or two with some of these fun things? But yeah, as far as it goes, no extra details added to this wall. Maybe a few more extra banners, but as far as like new things, I'm not seeing it. Also, if you guys are not aware, Universal has introduced their own versions of Tally the Elf. Now they have their own list. They get to walk around, interact. And if you guys know, obviously Tally was removed last year. It seemed like it kind of just blew up. People were obsessed, but it looks like now Universal has capitalized on the interest, and now they have them over here, which is always kind of fun to have those interactions. But all right, let's talk about Finnegan's and talk about our first permit we need to go over. So here is what I found out about Finnegan's. It will be closing, I believe they said January 11th or 12th, I think 11th. And they said it's gonna be closed for about a year. So if you guys were looking forward to visiting Finnegan's next year, it might be reopened by the end of the year, but I originally heard 9 months, and yeah, they said about a year. And right over here, we know the Christmas store is closed. Give me 1 second, loud music again. So that section has been closed right over here. That Christmas store has been gone, hasn't been utilized, I feel like, for months now at this point. But they are going to be expanding pretty much all the way down here, from what it seems like, all the way to the Christmas store. We might even have another entrance. I'm not too sure about that. They are also moving the bar to kind of the one side, kind of across from Sahara Traders, which then they're going to open up to have also the live music there. And they're gonna have an indoor and an outdoor bar area from what I am hearing as well. So it looks like they're doing a lot of positive changes to Finnegan's, which I love to see. And then obviously I imagine we'll get some sort of revamp to the menu and things like that. But yeah, overall, there's a lot of changes coming to Finnegan's, and now you have the details. I know some of you guys were asking about St. Patrick's Day. It will not be open if all of this holds up and they basically move forward with it, which I think we are pretty much confirmed at this point that it is going to happen. But yeah, you can expect early January for it to close down, and then all of the new construction to happen there basically over the next year or so as they kind of update it and expand it and turn it into, I guess, just more. Obviously, it's a pretty popular area, so it kind of makes sense. But yeah, overall, there you go on Finnegan's. Let's get started with these permits. So right here, we will talk about what is replacing Rip Ride Rocket. A lot of you guys kind of have already known that it seems like we're getting a roller coaster based on all of the supports, based on everything that we kind of see. It seems like a roller coaster, but we can confirm, at least we know that Intamin is in the works. That is what the permit is filed for the new attraction coming over here. Now, Intamin makes more than just roller coasters, but we can definitely assume it is going to be a new roller coaster replacing Rip Ride Rocket.
Sorry guys, I need to interject here. Unfortunately, I read this notice of commencement wrong. It actually expires February 28th, 2026, which is in like just 2 months. So that is definitely not enough time to pretty much build any attraction within 2 months, let alone just start something like this. So what I think is actually happening here, you can see this is for specialty equipment. I know a lot of people were rumoring that this was going to be the new attraction coming to Lost Continent and that Intamin was going to build it. I don't think that's what this is. This kind of mentions, City Walk, Universal Studios Florida, Islands of Adventure. So there is actually a little bit of overlap where Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket goes, kind of the direction. So there could be something pertaining to that. However, this could also just be a situation where they're kind of updating some rides, cleaning some things up. Because it's specialty equipment, I kind of feel like it might just be for some of their other attractions. As you guys know, Intamin has worked with Universal for quite a while. They have a number of attractions inside of the parks. So it could just be that, or it could be whatever the replacement is for Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket. And this is kind of some of that specialty equipment for the first stages of that. And they're kind of getting it on property. So I am sorry. Unfortunately, this is not exactly what I thought it was. After a closer look, it does seem to be a little bit more specialized and a much shorter time frame. So we are not confirmed yet with an Intamin roller coaster replacing Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket. I know a lot of us are kind of assuming that's the case, but this is not official for that.
By the way, I just watched Transformers 1 this weekend. What an incredible movie, by the way. I mean, I heard good things, but overall, that was so good. It's emotional, great story. The animation was great. I don't know, I loved it. By the way, just picked up my second pack for the day again. Because they were sold out, I was able to pick one up from previously and then for today's. Don't forget, you can get them once a day. Unless, of course, obviously there was an issue and they were sold out, then you can kind of try and redeem it that way. It should be in the app that you did not redeem it. I'm checking very quickly here at the Five and Dime, see if anything new is in here. I don't believe so, but I'll check. These are kind of fun. Look at these. $345 for that Frankenstein one. Wolfman for $400 over there. Creature, $120. Dracula's pendant right there, $320. Those are pretty cool. Oh, here's the mystery figures. So it's an all black Frankenstein and like an all white kind of pseudo translucent bride. I didn't realize those were the chasers. I didn't know who they were. So now they're on display. I almost wish that they wouldn't put them on display so we didn't know, but I guess it's nice to know what we're looking for. It looks like we also have larger versions from the same kind of branding here for Frankenstein. And then also Scarecrow right there. So if you guys are looking for bigger versions, not mystery boxes, you have some fun options. They are also selling the Bitty Monsters over here at the Five and Dime. These are over at Epic Universe, but it looks like they brought them over here as well. So if you guys are looking for them, you can pick them up right here inside of Universal Studios. If you guys are curious on wait times, here you go. By the way, that was 25 minutes for Despicable Me, Minion Mayhem. Jimmy Fallon is 10. Minion Blast is 5. I mean, look at these waits. Revenge of the Mummy, 35. I think that might be the longest one in the whole park. Let's see what we can find for Gringotts. That would be maybe the longest, 25. Minions, 15 for Men in Black. Gringotts has a brief delay, unfortunately. But again, those wait times are not bad. Again, I'm expecting pretty much this whole weekend to start to be the big increase. I think we're still just early enough. Is this a new sign, by the way, for Parks Endless Fun? Looks like we're finally getting a little bit more advertisement for all 4 parks, but I don't see anything for Volcano Bay up there. That looks like all Universal Studios, IOA, and Epic. Alrighty, second pack, really quick. Let's see what we get here. Hopefully not any repeats. I'm expecting to see the 2 repeats up front. Yep, there we go. Gurg the Llama is a repeat, and then probably Ornament or Snowflake. So we have Ornament, and then, oh, another Earl the Squirrel. We need to head over here to Islands of Adventure now to talk about the next permit that we need to kind of go over. On our way over there, maybe we'll talk about the last one, because it isn't huge. It's more just confirmation and more of a, yeah, we can move forward now. So let's get scanned in, head over to what I want to talk about, which I'm sure most of you guys are aware of, because there's really only one main thing here inside of IOA that needs some attention, and that's where we're heading. It smells like HHN fog right now. A little bizarre. Anyway, let's head over to where we need to get to. But on the way, yes, let's talk about one other thing that we need to point out, which is also pretty exciting, especially for those of you guys that are across the pond. So for those of you that are over in the UK, you will be happy to hear everything looks to be finalized for the park over there. So Universal Studios in UK will be moving forward as far as we know. So it looks like they pretty much needed to just get their I's dotted, their T's crossed. Everything had to get kind of finalized. Pretty much all the parties that were involved needed to kind of come together, get everything passed, and it looks like everything's good to go. And I know a lot of times people are gonna be like, oh no, I mean, obviously what's gonna happen, but you never know. Obviously there are residents, to my knowledge, that are very close to the park. They had some concerns, so whatever ended up happening, it looks like things are good to go. You guys will be seeing a UK park for Universal Studios. Obviously they made the announcements and kind of talked about it already, but it looks like everything is a lot more finalized, things are kind of more detailed out, and things can now move forward with that project, which is actually really exciting. We'll try and keep you guys updated. Obviously, not being boots on the ground there is going to be a little bit harder, but we'll do our best and kind of see what we can do for you. But yeah, if you guys are over in the UK, and I think they said they expect to see a very high influx of like foreign visitors, basically. So I think the first year, I think they're predicting like a 30-70 split. So 70% will be local, 30% will be basically people coming in from like other countries and things like that. And I think they said they're expecting it to be closer to 50-50 after the first year. I don't know if that would be the case. We'll obviously find out in time, but yeah, it's still exciting to know. UK, you guys are now going to be on the board with the Universal Studios Park. Pretty exciting. Yes, you guessed it. The last place we are showing up is right here at Lost Continent. And yeah, no surprise, obviously. Oh, there goes Velocicoaster. We have been waiting for something to come of it, and we have a little bit more details. Not a ton, but at least there's a permit that's been filed, and we have some sort of idea of a timeline. A little bit. I do want to see if they fixed up the bridge at all over here. 135 minutes for the Grinch. At least it's not a capacity. Isn't that crazy? I think Battle at the Ministry is even less. Oh, look at this. They have some new, well, you know what? Doesn't look new though. Or maybe it is. Maybe it's just already worn down. I don't know if these are new. No, they don't really look new. So it looks like they kind of have a little hybridized system here. And then over here it looks like they have kind of that old like plaster or whatever. I can't tell if these are new or not. They look worn already, so that's why I say maybe not. But they could have put them in like a week or two ago, and that quickly it will kind of just go away. You can see they put the wooden boards on the side though, which is always a plus. So it looks like they are kind of finishing things up for the most part. All right, so imagine it. You're walking in, and is it Lord of the Rings? Is it Link and Zelda? Is it Pokemon? Is it none of the above? What statue will enter us in to the Lost Continent in the future? And I assume it will not be called the Lost Continent either. Now, this is not just for Poseidon's Fury. This is all of the Lost Continent. It looks like we finally have some sort of idea of what to expect here, or at least kind of a time frame of what to expect here inside of this land. From the details inside of the permit, it looks like things are set to expire in 2027. So I believe at the end of the year, so we have about 2 years of construction inside of this land in particular. So we're looking at all of 2026, all of 2027 is kind of the time frame. So we can maybe expect to see something happening here in Lost Continent over the next year, maybe the start, and then hopefully by 2027, we'll have, you know, construction along the way and have some sort of idea what's going on there by the end of 2027. So yes, that is kind of the time frame. We're looking at about 2 years out for this area as of now. Obviously, we're going to keep you guys updated as things are going on, if things change, anything of that sort. But for right now, you guys can expect probably about 2 years for the timeline here for the Lost Continent. Now, I imagine they definitely want to get things going with this, as there's not really a whole lot going on here. You do obviously have the restaurant, and you have a few other kind of quick service places to grab some food, but outside of that, there's not a whole lot to do here inside of the Lost Continent. It's a beautiful area, super well themed, but they gotta have something going on. It's just a walkthrough area at this point. So out of all of the lands that you have here at Islands of Adventure, this one is just really not utilized the same way that every other option is. So I do expect them to be working on this pretty diligently here. Once things get kind of confirmed and moving forward with it, we will start to see construction over here. I don't know how it's gonna work. Are they gonna end up closing things off? Are they gonna have a throughput path? I don't know, but exciting stuff nonetheless to kind of have that for the future, to know that in the next 2 years, we will hopefully see something happening here inside of the Lost Continent, on top of obviously Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket. Alrighty, my friends, it is time for us to get on out of here and enjoy the rest of my night and my birthday celebration. Thank you guys for hanging out with me here at Islands of Adventure, Universal Studios, a little bit of City Walk. It's always just a blast to be talking about the future of the theme parks, and Universal just doesn't stop. As soon as we feel like we might have a little bit of a lull, they come out with these permits and they give us more details. Again, knowing that UK gets to now move forward with their park and seeing the Lost Continent have more of kind of a schedule here, to know that by the end of 2027, the construction should be complete over there. obviously Rip Ride Rocket, being able to have like boots on the ground, show you guys the footage, talk about it, and know now that Intamin is in charge of the project really is just, you know, it's fun to see. It's exciting. It kind of gets you hyped for the future. Obviously, 2026 is going to be such a big year for construction. We're going to talk all about whether or not you should visit next year or maybe wait one more year to visit the parks. You know, we kind of have to go over the pros and cons of that. Really is going to depend at the end of the day, but you know, it's just exciting stuff to see. And I'm just excited to know that Universal continues to push. We have the expansion going on over inside of Ministry of Magic, you know, knowing that's coming as well. Like, there's just so much fun to kind of like go over the next year or so. And I'm so excited to be able to bring it to you guys. Now, hopefully you guys are preparing for the holidays and getting ready for a fun New Year's Eve. Anybody that is watching Stranger Things, hopefully you guys are prepared for that. Over the next 2 weeks, it is going to be kind of insane. I'm sure everybody is just roaring to see what goes on in these last few episodes and figuring out how you manage, you know, spending time with your family or friends or whatnot. You know, what are you doing for New Year's now with this in mind? Are you just waiting a day? I think that's what we're doing. But ultimately, we're very excited for it as well. And then, yeah, next thing you know, we'll be in Mardi Gras, and then we'll be back to HHN. We do have 1 or 2 more videos coming up before the end of the year. We do want to have like a little bit of a recap of 2025. It was just a crazy year overall, and hopefully you guys enjoy that one. But yeah, just thank you guys so much for hanging out with me here at the parks today and just getting a little bit more details on my birthday. So hopefully you guys had a fun December 18th. It's always really easy to remember because my birthday is exactly 1 week before Christmas. You can't forget it. Either way, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for being here.